Sounds good.
Good morning or good afternoon to the new network fans. It's James Ernest of Sarah's Playlist, and we have the pleasure from the band, yours truly, the lead singer, Mikalia Delgado. Mikaila, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure having you on. We're excited about all the great things that are going on with you and your band, but we want to go back to the beginning. We want to know how it got started. When did you first fall in love with music?
Well, I think I would have maybe been like maybe 9 or 10 years old, and I had an older cousin. Her name's Brittany, and she was really into emo music, and she played guitar, and she showed me a whole bunch of bands that she found on MySpace,
Oh, cool.
and it just like blew my mind. And then I was like this 10-year-old kid that was like, I love Bring Me the Horizon, I love Paramore, and I was 10. Um, and yeah, and I think that then from that point onwards, I was like, I want to be in a band. So that's kind of how it all started for me.
So with that, you got inspired, but how did you learn to sing?
I don't know. I think that I always sung as a kid. My parents said that I was quite musical and I was always dancing and singing. So yeah, I just think I started doing like after I found bands, I started doing singing lessons when I was around 10. And then I just kind of never stopped. I kind of just got really into it. And I was like, okay, this is something that I might be good at because I wasn't really good at anything else.
Nice. I was going to say it's always good to have something that motivates you, and it sounds like you definitely were motivated by music.
Yeah, I just loved the way that it made me feel. It was something that I didn't play sports as a kid, like I wasn't super academic. I just loved music and nothing else kind of like really piqued my interest the way that, that music did, I guess.
So the way I understand it, everything changed in 2016 when you started yours truly. How did it all get started?
So I was in high school, and I had been in a couple of bands, in high school, and then I joined another one, that we started touring, when I joined that band. But I was very, very young. I would have been like 14 when I started touring. And I remember just thinking to myself, I want to be in a band with like people that, that like are also kind of into things that I'm into and like, start something from scratch myself. And that was when I met our guitarist Teddie on Facebook. And then we kind of just really bonded really quickly. And then started yours truly off of that. It was just something that we were both really craving, like our own projects after kind of being involved in so many other people's.
Hmm.
Um, so
That's awesome.
yeah, we started that. And
Yeah,
then it kind of went from there.
yeah. I was going to say how Facebook played a role in it, and I mean, gosh, I mean, what are the odds of y'all connecting? And that's pretty cool. And then, of course,
Yeah, it
you
was
had
a
another
very
one that joined you.
yes, our drummer Henry has recently started playing with us as a live touring member. Who we've known Henry for a really long time. I think Teddie and Henry grew up kind of like nearish each other.
Mhm.
And Henry played in another band that we were friends with when we started out, and that was a band that we used to tour with a lot. And so I guess after all these years have gone by, and like he stopped playing with that band, and then we were without a drummer, and we still saw Henry around all the time. We were like, oh, this would like be a really good fit for us. And he started
Yeah, yeah.
sessioning for us. And then we were like, do you want to like be a part of yours truly? Like if it was right that we've known you for so long, like you're already part of the family.
So did you have to haze him or jump him into the group, or was there any oh gosh, was there any trials that he had to go through to become a full member of yours truly?
I think that he jumped on pretty last minute for a lot of stuff, and he always pulled through. So I think for me that was enough. I went to America with him. We spent 5 weeks with him. If I can deal with sitting next to someone for 5 weeks, we're good.
That is awesome. So with Henry, I mean, it sounds like he's such a great fit for the band.
Yeah. No, he really is. And like I said, like we've been, we kind of grew up, all of us together. So I guess, it makes sense.
Tell us a little bit about that first album, Self Care.
What do you want to know about it?
We want to know what inspired you to create it. What was the process?
So Self Care was our first record on a label. Um, our record Afterglow, we actually tracked before we were even signed to any label. It was before High Hopes really blew up for us. And so that album, it was like a very big, daunting task for us because Afterglow, our EP beforehand, had done so well. And so we were like, okay, this record that we do now, there's a lot of eyes on us. It needs to be something amazing. So a lot of that record is actually about the pressures of trying to live up to an expectation. We also, like, through those, the songs before them doing so well, we started touring the world, and we, got to go overseas for the first time. So it was a huge challenge with our lives adjusting so quickly whilst we were like so young, like, like we were between the ages of like 18 and 21.
Oh, wow.
At the time of that. So we were very young, and, we were like all kind of like, leaving high school and, jumping straight into full-time touring. And I guess we called it self-care because during a lot of that, like, we kind of lost how to take care of ourselves because we were so obsessed with what we were doing. And the pressure of where we were, like, we almost had this imposter syndrome of like, do we deserve to be here? Like, we've been a band for 3 seconds, and we're in America. Like, so that's what that album is about.
Well, you definitely deserve it. I mean, you guys have done phenomenal work. I really enjoy how you're able to combine your pop and your punk music. Is what would you say, the percentage of each is in your music?
Um, I think that we are definitely a lot more. I think our tastes have changed. We started off as a band that we wanted to be easycore. That was what yours truly started as. And then we became a very, very pop punk band. But as we've gotten older and the band has progressed, I feel that the band is poppier than what it ever has been. But the punk side of yours truly it's a very pop punk is a very ever changing genre. Every kind of generation of pop punk is slightly different. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, really, because I kind of feel like we've just kind of kept the pop vocal, the punk music kind of shifted as a band.
So tell us about the band changing and how it evolved over time.
We started off, as I said before, we started off, wanting to play like easy core. Like that was what yours truly was when we started. And then we went very much into like being very in love with pop punk. As we've gotten older, um, yeah, like I think all of our interests have really shifted. Like I think our last release, Is This What I Look Like, has like drum and bass influences and has like, punkier influences. We At the core of it though, as a vocalist, I love pop music. I love singing pop melodies, and I think that that is kind of maybe yours truly is able to explore so many different genres or sides of the alternative pop punk world, because vocally it's always kind of stayed very consistently pop. So, we are able to kind of just like things, and kind of you can't really even tell all the time because, yeah, there's always a sense of familiarity.
I always believe the music video usually tells the true story behind the song. Like it really shows the symbolisms, the meanings behind the words. And I find it interesting, your extreme wardrobe shift during your new single, Call My Name.
My what, sorry?
Your wardrobe shift, how you start off with the white outfit and go to black, or you start with the black and you go to the white. What was the symbolism behind that?
Um, with that one, I think the white is to kind of show like the pure intention of love, I think, and the pure intention um you know, of a want to feel safe and putting yourself in a vulnerable position. I feel like white really symbolizes that. So whilst there is that scene where like the blood is involved and like, you know, I've had my heart taken out of my chest and the blood is like on the white, it's like it's really showing how like, you know, love can, you know, can be like be such a destroyer of like heartbroken. It's like, you know, it's terrible.
Exactly. When love goes
Especially
right,
when
it's
you're
amazing. Yeah.
pure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that that's kind of like why the white really works with that. The black outfit was purely because I thought it was pretty.
Oh,
So I don't have anything to say about that one.
just enjoyed the outfit.
I just liked the dress. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, with that, I mean, I love the how intense you are in that song, and how you're able to tell that story about toxic relationships and the struggle of leaving somebody. Have you ever had that experience in real life?
Definitely. I definitely write from a very true and honest standpoint. I think everyone at some point in their lives, you know, gets their heart broken, and a lot of times, and even doesn't even have to be in a romantic sense. I think your friends can break your heart, your family can break your heart, and I think that like you know, I think that there's a side of you that you know misses that the person that you became so attached to. So I think that's kind of the story that I try to tell during that song.
Say it's a very powerful story. It's a very powerful message, and it's really great how you get that out there. With
Thank
that,
you.
welcome. With that, there are a bunch of red flags usually in those type of relationships. What are some of those red flags that should people should be worried about?
If you are constantly having bad days, it's a big red flag. I think that you should be able to have whoever's in your life add to the happiness in your life, and that if someone in your life is making you an unhappy person and a lot of their own struggles and problems become your problems in a way that, trying to say this in the right way, in a way that you know you are giving everything that you can and it is not enough, and that becomes a problem in your life and it makes you feel bad about yourself. I think that's a bit of a red flag.
I agree. Um, I just really love how your music is raw and honest. Is that an intentional thing, the honesty of it?
um yes and no. I can't write from a place of like of not being honest. It also, I find it as a way of like therapy, of like you know being feeling so good to let everything out. We're currently we just finished our second record, and when we first started tracking this record, I was so emotional and I was crying like every single day, just singing about the things that I had experienced in the past 2 years of my life. And I don't feel sad about them anymore. I feel really good. Like I feel, you know, I haven't been upset about it since. It's very sad in the time, but it's almost like putting, for me at least, putting these stories and these things that I went through like on a song and then kind of releasing it in that way. It's kind of like, you know, yeah, releasing that trauma, releasing those issues and those problems and like leaving them out into one, being like, that's not my problem anymore. That's a song now. And
Oh,
it's, you
wow.
know, it's out there for people to relate to. So yeah, something about it definitely changes how I feel about things.
So it sounds like your music not only has healed your fans, but it has healed yourself.
definitely. Yeah.
I'm really excited about hearing about your experiences touring with Neck Deep. We're supposed to have them on in a couple weeks, and I just wanted to get your impressions of what it was like to be a part of their tour.
It was so exciting. I love Neck Deep, so it was a very big tour for us. And it was just like watching them every night was just watching what an amazing band, how they operated and how they played a show and like just how smooth that was and yeah, just how pro they are was amazing to watch. Like they're truly pro. And they were all very lovely.
Yeah, I mean, the professional level of them is just such high quality that, I mean, that just is always great when you can work with other people that really do get it and really do care about what they're doing.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see.
Speaking about professionals, one of the all-time greats, I mean, gosh, I mean, he probably is. He didn't invent skateboarding, but it kind of feels like he did. Tony Hawk. I understand you played a Tony Hawk event. That must have been one heck of a.
Yeah. Yeah, just a couple of days ago, it was celebrating the 25 years of his game, the Pro Skater. And it was amazing. I had such a good time. It was super hot. It was Brisbane's boiling in summer. But it was just such an amazing event. Like I grew up very into video games. Teddie, our guitarist, he skates. So it was a really cool little like connection of like both of our interests into like one day and we'll get to play show and play some music.
So, what type of games do you like to play?
I really like adventure decision making style games and I also love like life simulations.
Oh, cool. So, like
Yeah.
Sims?
I love like The Sims is probably it wasn't the game that started it for me, but it is definitely one of the games that I still play quite regularly.
Awesome. And then, like maybe
Yeah.
the tycoon games, are you into those as well? Like the roller coaster tycoons and the city tycoons and all that?
I was definitely way more into them before. I haven't played one for a while. I'm definitely because I travel so much now for music, I'm definitely way more into my Switch and finding games that I can play on
Oh, yeah,
there.
the Switch is
So
great. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm definitely like right now I'm playing Persona 5, which I've never really played a game like that before, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it does sound like an awesome game. My boy
Yeah, it's pretty
with a Switch, he loves the Mario Maker boards that and yeah, little Lego, anything with Lego where you're making things. He's 12. He's a good.
amazing.
Yeah, he's into
Yeah.
that. The one I would recommend for you that I think is phenomenal, and not even just for gaming, just in general, is just such an amazing thing, is the Quest 3, the VR.
Quest 3.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah, it's a VR headset. And the cool thing is, it takes like when you're just sitting in a normal room and makes it look like you're in a movie theater.
Wow.
Gosh, it's so
That's amazing.
immersive. Yeah. Or
I
like
have to get yeah.
there's these 3D video, not 3D videos, 360 videos, and they put a camera like in a tiger cage, and it you really feel like you're in the cage with the tiger as he's moving around the cage. And I mean, it is just shoot, yeah, it is phenomenal. So if you are into
I
games,
need
yeah, it's worth trying out.
yeah, it sounds so fun.
Oh, definitely. And then yeah, if you like the first player shooter games and oh my, just it just feels so real. It is phenomenal. It is just it's the best thing. As much fun as
Sick.
the other systems are, I can't say enough. But that's great that
Yeah,
did you get to interact with Tony at all?
I did not. Teddy did though. So he was pretty excited about that. But
Cool.
I was too shy, honestly. I get pretty like, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. So I was going to say, it sounds like there's some really great things going on for the band, yours truly. What do you have planned for the rest of 2024?
So we have an Australian tour in March. We're doing the Call My Name tour all around Australia. And then like I just said not long ago, we just finished our second record. So that will be coming out at some point this year when we get all of our stuff sorted out. like it's just finished, so I'm kind of just like, I kind of want like a second to stop, but at the same time I'm very excited about it. And I'm hoping that with that we'll get to go overseas again. It's been a minute for us. We took a bit of a break last year to work on this album and to get it done and written. So hopefully there'll be a lot of touring involved this year. That's my plan.
That's awesome. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. Before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can our listeners find out more about you?
You can find us on all social media, yours truly _ band, or our website, yourstruly.band.
Excellent. Thank you, Mikaila. It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.